Maido! Hi there, Japan fans! In today's show, we are going to talk about feedback. This is going to be revealing. Present Master Shimashou. This is the 4-year-old Presentations Japan series podcast. We are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku here in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guide committed to your success. The president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, a best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. Through this podcast, I want to help you to become a speaker who is clear, confident, persuasive, and highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, colleagues, and friends. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is the daily lineup. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsuji no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 210, and we are talking about getting objective, useful feedback on your presentation. How was it? Is a pretty lousy survey question a presenter may ask of acquaintances, friends, or their staff immediately after speaking. Unless they are your sworn enemy or a sadist, they are not going to tell you what they really think if you stink because of the relationship you have with them. We need to make sure we are growing and improving as presenters. So, objective feedback is crucial to achieving that aim. How can we grab ourselves some of that good oil? I always talk about the importance of eye contact with your audience. The reason is simple. This is the key factor in getting objective feedback in real time. By engaging in eye contact with as many people in the audience as possible at time allowed, you have a greater chance of reading the reaction to your words. We want the lighting in the room to be up and not darkened so that the slides can't dominate you as the speaker. This is because we want to be able to clearly see the audience. If they are leaning in or leaning back, there are two completely different messages there. We get the lean back posture in our training classes from those individuals who were told by their boss, go to training. It is a common posture of skepticism, reluctance, irritation, and disbelief. The same applies when speaking. There is no greater feeling when presenting than to have a large audience lean in to you. It only has to be a few millimeters, but when done en masse, it's like a drug. Once you've experienced it, you want that feeling every time. Facial expression in Japan is a tough one. The serious, I am really listening to you face and the this is crap face look exactly the same here. I was giving a speech in Japanese to 150 salespeople in Kobe, and there was a gentleman seated about halfway down on the left, right throughout my talk. His face oozed with the "this is crap" reaction. At the end, he sprang out of his seat and bolted down to where I was standing, exchanging business cards with some of the audience. I thought my karate training was about to come into play here because he was going to hit me. Instead, he was pumping my hand in the handshake and telling me how much he liked to talk. I was silently reflecting that I wished he'd told his face he was enjoying it. Most people have a positive or at least neutral facial expression, but don't assume. A serious face is a negative reaction, was the lesson for me. Nodding the head up and down is a sign you want to see. It says the audience is in agreement with you. When you start to get this head nodding going on across a lot of faces, it is a powerful acknowledgement that you are doing a good job selling your message. A way to train your audience to do this is to nod up and down yourself when you're making a statement you want people to agree with. They will mimic what you are doing. Get this head nodding into a habit of responding that way to other things you say which they like. Find out more when we come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses. We also do custom in-house programs. Now we do these in our super safe classroom. We do them live, online. We do them in Japanese, in Nihongo, and we do them in Eigo. We do them in English. Today's show is sponsored by, on the 7th of November, our Dale Carnegie course, 12-week brilliant program. On the 13th of November, we have our professional leadership program on delegation. On the 20th of November, also in our professional leadership series, we have handling mistakes. And also on the 20th of November, we have negotiations. Now, our website, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com, has all the information there for you. To do better in Japan, just email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. You like learning by watching videos? Bingo! We have over 1,000 for you at Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premiere business show on Japan. It comes out every Monday. Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays we have the Japan Business Top Interviews. So I spend time interviewing leaders there from small, medium enterprises all the way up to the corporate captains of industry in that program. Very, very fascinating. All on one single topic of leadership. And every second Thursday we release our Business Pro Television show. Don't forget, get my book, The Bible on Selling, Japan Sales Mastery, and also Japan Business Mastery. They are both bestsellers and they are both available on Amazon. Welcome back. Japanese audiences have zero conception that they are expected to take any action during your talk. We have to get them physically involved, which helps to get them supporting your key points. We can't go crazy and overdo it, but in a 30-minute speech, you could get them to raise their hand twice, and that wouldn't feel like it was too much. Beyond that, however, and resistance will emerge. So, to increase engagement, you can ask a question, a rhetorical question, that is good, because it forces everyone to concentrate on what you are saying rather than allowing their minds to roam around. You can also ask an actual question and raise your own arm up to model what you want them to do. The question you ask has to be delivered in such a way that the only possible answer is a yes. This makes it as easy as possible for them to raise their hand. For example, raise your hand if you are getting tired of Zoom meetings by now. If you have someone with you when you make the speech, don't ask them what they thought about it. Ask them to tell you what they thought went well and what could you do better next time. Having some helpful friends start caning your talk is not going to make that speech a positive experience for you. We have to ask them very specific questions too, as far as possible. For example, did you find the speech opening grabbed your attention to stop thinking about other things? When I mentioned the names of a couple of people in the audience I met before we started, did that help to make a deeper connection with the audience? When I summed up after the last question, did that help to recall what my main point was? Etc. Some speech host organizations do surveys of the event, and their response rate is usually microscopic and so of little help. You can always distribute a flyer to every table with the QR code access to a site where they can answer a few short questions. You can do this during the speech as you are wrapping up. It is not great timing because you're asking people to divert their attention from what you're saying. However, if you wait after the talk has finished, very few people will bother to do the survey. Instead, say, please take 1 minute to do the survey using the QR code on your tables, and then I will go through the final bonus slide for you. Stop speaking for that minute and just wait. After the bonus slide has been covered, we sum up again to make sure our key message is the last thing they remember. In this way, we will get a much better survey of the crowd, and feedback will help us to focus on the areas needing more work. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast on iTunes. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today. Become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for listening. Please tune in next week. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy, committed to your success here in Nippon.